I'm Andrew Donnelly. My co-host Matt Dow's here in the booth with me. What do we got going on today? Look at this, round 4 of 9? 9 rounds of standard today, huh?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a long day, but we got a sweet one here for you. Matt Hoey on the left playing Abzan mid-range / control, similar to what Dan Musser, I believe, top-aided the SCG Washington, D.C. with. And then on the right, Tomsovic, Nerd Rage local, playing a deck he is entitled Patriot Missile, which is a Jeskai aggro deck. It's a red-white deck splashing blue, and Patriot Missile was just too sweet a name to not have up there. So I like Patriot Missile in this in this game. It just has a sweet name.
It
so
does.
I'm just rooting for Tommy because I just want to continue.
You just want to see the Patriot Missile just take it?
Keep seeing Patriot Missile and just continue saying Patriot Missile because it's sweet. So it looks like Hoey's on the play, and he has chosen to keep his 7.
Tommy is also keeping.
Tommy going to take a swig of water here.
Both players 3-0 today.
Yeah, that's what I expect. Both good players. Tommy top 64 the Legacy.
He did.
Open last weekend.
Good job, Tommy.
Playing Jund, a deck that was once terrible in my opinion, and now a little better because Treasure Cruise doesn't exist anymore.
I swear, I've play tested with him before. My Miracles against his Jund, and he has more 1-ofs in that deck that just blow you out. You know, I mean,
Pernicious Steed.
Pernicious Steed. Yeah. Abrupt is a good card.
So
discussing here.
To start. And here we go. Matthew Hoey going to lead off here with a Sandstep Citadel, which is, I think, the ideal play for these 3-color decks. Tommy going to play an Evolving Wilds.
Interesting.
So, not the most exciting card in the world.
Already things are off to an exciting start.
Right. Patriot Missile, man. Hoey with the Temple of Silence. Going to leave that one on top. Unaware of what Tommy is playing, although if he is knowledgeable about other lists, typically the red-white aggro decks play a 1-of or 2-of Evolving Wilds, so you might think that Tommy is playing a deck similar to that.
I like that as a blind lead from Tommy for your opponent to kind of second guess.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think it is kind of obvious what he's playing just from that card.
Yes, now it
is. No, but even from the Evolving Wilds.
Oh, really?
Because, like I said, the only deck I can think of, stock list, is the red-white deck.
Interesting.
So Tommy at turn 2 going to play a Plains and then cast a Seeker of the Way. So let's see what Hoey's follow-up is. Looks like he has quite a few lands in his hand. A Tasigur, an Elspeth, and a Read the Bones, I believe.
So I like the Read the Bones tech.
Yeah, me too. But he's going to choose to scry here instead of playing an untapped land and Read the Bones, and I believe that's because he has a Bile Blight in his hand to take care of this Secret of the Way. Going to scry and leave that one on top. Shift the turn back to Tommy, who draws a change for the rocks, which is a pretty good card against these Abzan decks. Good way to answer to Tasigur and Siege Rhino.
Tommy's got a hand here that's pretty full of gas. I mean, I see lightning strikes. I've seen a Hordling Outburst. He's got the chain to the rocks.
Yep, he has the other mana. Now the question is does he have a second red source so he can play Hordling Outburst? And I don't believe he does. So we'll see if he wants to play another Seeker of the Way into Bile Blight, and yeah, he's gonna get blown out. So there you go. There go those Seeker of the Ways. So.
Boy.
Yeah, I feel like Tommy has a mana confluence in his hand, so he could have played a Hordling Outburst there instead of the other Seeker, and been a little bit better. But Hoey's going to get the 2-for-1 there, and then untap and Thoughtseize, and see mana confluence, Lightning Strike, Stoke the Flames, Hordling Outburst, and a Chain to the Rocks.
Yeah.
I imagine you probably just take probably the creatures. You take the Hordling Outburst.
Leave them with the burn and removal.
Yeah.
Good call.
So then we can play our Caves of Koilos and cast a Read the Bones here as a follow-up.
This card I like.
Yeah. Hoey is, though, in danger of... he's not taking 4 damage this turn from just his own cards. So, and Tommy does have 7 points of burn in hand. So we do run the risk of burning ourselves out, but Siege Rhino does a good job of alleviating the damage we've done to ourselves.
Which is something that Matt Hoey just slipped in his hand there.
Yeah. Tommy's going to fetch up. Now he has all 3 colors. He's got Tron active, 3 basic lands of the colors he's looking for.
Interesting, going with the regular island, regular mountain Zendikar plains.
Yeah, well, I imagine the Zendikar islands are a little bit more expensive than these Zendikar plains.
That's very true.
Tommy drew a good one there off the top, and
there he is.
Mana Strider. He's going to attack for 3. So this is a pretty good card against Matthew Hoey's hand here. Although looks like he drew another Bile Blight, so that's a pretty good answer to a 3/3.
Now, if you're Matt here, do you just play the Rhino, or are you still waiting to clear the board?
So the question is like, if we play the Rhino, what does it do? And the answer is nothing really. It's going to gain us 3 life. We're just going to lose the 3 life to that Mana Strider anyways. I'd probably just fire off a removal spell here. There's the argument to be made that it's a little bit more mana efficient, that it's using all of our mana for this turn, but I think we can, if we did draw Bile Blight, I think we can Bile Blight and leave up Abzan Charm. That's probably the line.
I guess in my mind, I'm thinking the play of the Siege Rhino allows us to drain, allows us to recoup some life. Now it keeps our opponent guessing on whether or not they need to use their burn to get rid of the creature, which, you know, obviously Stoke the Flames cannot do by itself.
Yeah. So he's going to upkeep Abzan Charm. So I imagine he did that instead of Bile Blading, so that he could have an answer to Goblin Rabblemaster if Tommy is fortunate enough to top deck one. The Abzan Charm not an answer, whereas the Bile Blight would be. So Tommy's just going to pass back. Hoey now has Plains in his hand, or Forest. And I imagine he's probably just going to cast Siege Rhino here, while also leaving up Bile Blight again.
Is that Dr. Siege, I see?
It is, and that's going to resolve, and Tommy's going to go to 16, and Matthew Hoey's going to go up to 14. Now he's going to delve and cast a Tassiger. Choosing to go, take down his Bile Blight, because even the one change of the rocks that Tommy has isn't enough to stop the Rabblemaster that he just drew from getting value, since the Goblin will still bounce off one of the big guys.
So the question here is, if you're Tommy, who are you chaining?
Tasker.
Yeah.
The Rhino has done this damage. Yeah, I imagine we chain. So if you chain here, play a Rabblemaster, let the guy bounce. I imagine you chain Tassiger.
Choosing the Rhino instead.
Yeah, which is interesting. The Tassiger is just a better card, I think, right now. It's able to gain some card advantage. Tommy's going to play the Rabblemaster he drew. Turn too late. Going to block the Goblin that he'll create and pass it back. So Matt Hoey draws an Ugin for the turn. It's a couple of turns away from casting that one, but he does have an Elspeth and a Bile Blight in his hand, so he's going to be able to deal with this Rabblemaster pretty well, I believe. Can probably even attack with this Tassiger and then make some tokens.
When does he really want to start abusing the Tassiger ability? I mean, is that an ability to think about now, or is that something you wait till?
No, I think when we start running out of gas.
Sure.
But right now he's just got a bunch of gas in his hand, so let's cast a 6-mana Planeswalker that pretty much blanks the Rabblemaster. So he's going to cast Elspeth, make some tokens, and ship it back. Now, Tommy really needs a way to deal with this Elspeth. Another Rabblemaster I don't think is going to get the job done. But there is a line of make a token, stoke the flames the Elspeth with the token we make, so it doesn't crash into one of the tokens, and then lightning strike the Elspeth, which feels pretty bad, but it gets the Elspeth off the table. And then from there we can, work on getting around this Tassiger and trying to kill our opponent, who's at pretty low 14, but we have 2 Rabblmasters, so we'll see what Tommy decides to do. Looks like he's going to play a second Rabblemaster.
Burn himself for one.
Yep. So So the second goblin does not have haste. Oh no. Okay, so he's gonna. Yep. All right. So that's just the better play.
Like it.
Yep. So same play I was gonna make, only better.
only a fraction of a bit.
Yeah.
Though we still have to be worried. Does Hoey still have that Bile Blight?
He does. I believe. I believe it's a Bile Blight. So I think the alternate art one, the promo one. So I imagine if we have it, we'll fire it off here. Could be a second Tassiger though. And I gotta think it's not a Bile Blight if he's taking this long to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a Bile Blight, I'm firing it off and killing 2 Rebel Masters.
Yes, that seems like the play.
So I think it's a black spell. It could be another Tassiger, although he's only playing 1, so no, it can't. Murderous Cut maybe is what it is. I think that's what it is. So we see an Ugin in Mad Hoey's hand. Only 6 mana though. Needs 2 more to cast it. And then, but he does have a Plains in hand.
So he can get in with the Tassiger here if he wants. Keep it back, 2 block a Rabble Master. We can activate Tassiger's ability. We have the land for that.
Yeah, so I think what he's thinking about here is, can I attack, Murderous Cut a Rabble Master, and then, so I think what he's really mulling over is what goes wrong if I attack here. He has Murderous Cut. He's able to pay 1 for Murderous Cut, delve away all the stuff he doesn't want. And then, yeah, so he's just going to Murderous Cut after dealing some damage. And I think he doesn't. I think he only has 2 cards in his graveyard, so he can't delve away a 4 for the cut and then use the Tassiger's ability. So he gets a better selection of what Tommy gets to choose for.
Yeah.
So, we have 14. Tommy has the ability to attack for 8, I believe, and put him to 6. Now, are there any cards that Tommy is able to play? I think a Mana Strider here would be pretty good. It would allow him to attack for 11 and still have a blocker back.
Interesting. What's the 1 card in his hand?
I'm unaware. He just drew it. I imagine if it was a Mana Strider, we would have slammed it.
Going to
so
combat.
He's going to attack for 3, which if we don't draw a relevant spell is probably the correct play. And then he's going to take a damage and play a Stormbreath Dragon.
Interesting.
And ship the turn back to Mad Hoey, who's going to draw for his turn.
Did he get the
Is
land?
it a land? It doesn't look like it's a land.
Nope. No Ugin.
But I don't know. Ugin seems dangerous here. If you cast it to wipe this board, and then our opponent draws a burn spell, now we're both back to top decking.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he has the... I think this is when you begin to debate whether or not activating Tassiger is worth it.
So he will, if he attacks Tommy with everything, he will force Tommy to have to chump block with something. So I imagine Tommy will chump block. I imagine with the Stormbreath Dragon, since it represents the least amount of damage.
So he chooses to block with Rabble Master. Okay, so...
Yeah, that's odd to me. There's another Elspeth. Just going to tick up. Yeah, I can't imagine Tommy winning this game from this spot. So, yeah, I mean, not knowing what Mad Hoey has, I think I like chump blocking the Tassiger as opposed to with the Stormbreath Dragon instead of the Rabble Master. It's another point of damage.
Just into our opponent.
Yep. So Tommy at 3 only has 4 blockers, no cards in hand, so Hoey can just attack all out and kill Tommy. Doesn't have enough blockers for his team.
Just debating, looking. What did we
No,
draw?
I guess he'd put him to 1. My bad. Tommy has 4 blockers for Mad Hoey's 6 creatures, so
Sure.
he'd only be able to deal 2 damage. But we'd force the chump block. No, I guess Stormbreath Dragon would get to eat a guy. Either way, I think Tommy is not in a good position here.
The attack comes anyways. Hoey wants to get in for damage.
No, I wonder if we minus there. Yeah, I think if Mad Hoey minuses there, I think he just kills Tommy. Does he kills? No, okay, so he kills Tasker too. I forgot that is not a. There's a one-sided, not one-sided.
There we go. There's the Tasker ability.
Tommy's going to give him a Thoughtseize. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good card to give your opponent when you have no cards in hand. Mad Hoey's going to play it safe. Tommy at 1, I believe. Minus. Yeah, Tommy's stuck in between there. Alright, but...
Yeah, that would have been good.
That kills Elspeth, but he still untaps and just kills him. So, yep. Mad Hoey going to get game 1 over Patriot Missile.
There
Just
it is.
Guy Aggro from Tommy Tomsovic.
Boy, that was so... I mean, what a close game, too.
Yeah.
I feel like had Tommy drawn the Mana Strider earlier... Or...
Yeah, Mana Strider there instead of like that Stormbreath Dragon, I think, would have probably been pretty good for him.
That would have sweetened the deal a little bit.
Definitely. All right.
What do we got for sideboards?
So, in the sideboard of the Patriot Missile deck, God, that name is sweet.
That name is pretty awesome.
There are 2 Erases, 3 Hushwing Gryphs, 2 Chandra Pyromasters, 3 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Magma Sprays, and 3 Glare of Heresies.
Okay.
So, cards that I like. Obviously, the Disdainful Strokes I think are pretty good.
Yep.
Chandra, maybe. I actually do like Chandra, I think. It allows us to gain some card advantages on a more controlling deck. And then it also allows us to keep up the aggression. If our opponent plays like Siege Rhino and stuff, we can +1 and get for our damage with our ground creatures. Glare of Heresy, I think, is also a consideration, but I don't think I'd bring in all 3 of them. I might bring in a couple. Nice to hit Siege Rhino and then the 3 Elspeths in Mad Hoey's deck that you saw. You saw 2 of that game.
Yeah.
So those are cards that I'm probably going to bring in here.
I agree on the Chandra. I think once again that card has just been a phenomenal card recently in Standard. In the reach it provides red decks, or even decks like this that are kind of splashing red. It's just too good not to bring in against a deck like Hoey's.
Yeah, things I don't like. I don't particularly like Lightning Strike. Maybe some number of Seeker of the Ways, since they're kind of roadblocked by Courser of Crufix. And I know like most of these Abzan decks used to play Sylvan Caryatid, so that also kind of roadblocks Seeker sometimes.
Yeah.
So that could be why Tommy is boarding them out. They actually are pretty good here, in that the only card in Matt's deck that really roadblocks them is Courser of Crufix. So. Moving on to Mad Hoey's sideboard, he has 3 Glare of Heresies, 3 Drown in Sorrows, 2 Read the Bones, a Bile Blight, 2 Nissa World Wakers, 1 Utter End, 1 Tassiger, 1 Murderous Cut, and 1 Sorin Solemn Visitor. So here I think I like the Drown in Sorrows, a Bile Blight, probably a Murderous Cut, and probably a Sorin too.
Really, you don't like the Utter End here? That was a card that really stood out to me as something that I think I would bring in.
No, not particularly. I mean, it's 4 mana. It doesn't hit Stormbreath Dragon. It's too slow to kill Rattlemaster. It's too slow to really stop Mana Strider from already, lightning bolting us. So I don't really like Utter End. I think it's just too slow here.
I like the Sorin though. I think
Sorin,
that's a good pick.
Way to gain life if necessary, and just another high impact threat. So. We'll see, though. We're moving on to Game 2 here. Tommy Tomsovic on the draw, or on the play. Mad Hoey on the draw. Tommy's going to keep his hand. And he's going to start off with the Mystic Monastery. Mad Hoey going to start off with a Temple of Malady. And ship the turn back.
It's so nice in this format to play your 3-colored, come into play tap land turn 1.
Yeah, I think that's probably what most decks want to start off with.
Yeah.
Tommy here does not have a 2-drop. Most likely because he boarded some number of them out. But he is going to fetch it end step here to thin his deck a little bit. And looks like he does have a turn 3 Mana Strider, which Mad Hoey not representing Bile here since he only has 1 black mana. This Mana Strider, if it isn't answered very quickly, is going to do some work.
So I like this card. I mean, it's a quick, effective creature. Granted, it can be removed fairly easily in this format, but the amount of pressure it applies on the board to both your opponent's life total and the creatures that it can effectively block is very strong.
Patriot Missile, man.
That's it. You better fire the Manus off, baby.
So, looks like Mad Hoey does not have a 3rd land drop.
Boy, that
he did draw a good answer to the Mana Strider in Glare of Heresy, but unfortunately it looks like he's going to be stuck on 2 lands there.
Wow.
Just discarding an Elspeth, so things are not looking good for him. Tommy loading up on permission.
Yeah.
But most of the spells in Matt Hoey's hand right now are, cheap things, cheap removal spells like this Glare of Heresy. But he's choosing to not cast that, and instead I imagine is going to cast a Hero's Downfall on this Mana Strider or an Abzan Charm. So that's going to be exiled. Matt's going to take 1 and go to 13, and Tommy is hopefully going to have a follow-up, but he does not. He just has a bunch of reactive cards, and Matt Hoey misses another land drop, so Tommy draws another reactive card.
We were hedging our bets on that Mana Strider to...
Yeah, we sure were. So there's a 4th land for Matt Hoey, but he's going to play a Courser of Crewfix and start gaining some value off of it, as we saw in the previous round. Going to gain a life off the Windswept Teeth. So Tommy really needs a threat here, and I imagine he's just going to change with rocks this guy next turn. There's a pretty good one, Hushwing Griff.
That Courser could have definitely swung things in Matt's favor. I mean, it would have allowed him to find some land off the top.
Yep.
Start thinning out his deck.
Said he's going to draw the Bile Blight we knew about. Got a Glare of Heresy, the Chain to the Rocks.
I think that's an apt way to use Glare. I think
so too.
I'm okay with that.
Revealing an end hostilities.
Really?
Doesn't want it. Going to fetch away. Gain a life. Lose a life. Awesome. No, he's at 14. Yeah, the awesome interaction between Courser and fetch lands. See a card you don't like on top, fetch it away. Don't lose any life. Seems good.
What does he show?
Shows a Bile Blight. So I imagine Tommy is going to end step the Hushwing Griff here.
It seems like it'd be the play.
Yeah, I think it's the play. It's not getting any better.
Yeah, I like that. We're at least putting damage on the board, and making a body.
Of note, Tommy leaves up, well, a slight misplay from Tommy. He only had 2 mountains up there, and he had a Disdainful Stroke, and I think Matt Hoey has a Murderous Cut in his hand that he could have fired off.
Sure.
So,
did Tommy draw a Storm Breath just now?
He did, and choosing not to cast it. Instead, Matt Hoey is now going to Murderous Cut, and I imagine now Tommy is going to Disdainful Stroke this. And then...
He's going to be down mana, so it leaves him up with 4, but if he taps Smart here...
Yeah, he should be able to Disdainful Stroke and then Chain to the Rocks next turn. Chain to the Rocks is Courser. And then leave up Disdainful Stroke again. So, this Hushwing Griff I can't imagine is going to live, but still, he has a good follow-up in Stormbreath Dragon, and he can even Stormbreath Dragon with Disdainful Stroke up, if he draws another land. So we'll see what Matt Hoey's next play is here. Perhaps he's going to cast... So he's going to cast a Drown in Sorrow.
Killing the Hushwing.
Taking a damage off that, though. So he's going to go to 10. Looks like he shipped a Hero's Downfall to the bottom, I think. Or no, he drew one for the turn. Okay. So pretty good answer to the Stormbreath Dragon in Tommy's hand, which I imagine he just tries to fire off here and...
Did he find another lane?
He did not, unfortunately. No. He drew a Stoke the Flames, though, so if we can attack with the Stormbreath Dragon, we can get pretty close to killing him.
So he has some... okay, sure.
So cast the Stormbreath Dragon and attack in for 4. Put him to 6.
I was about to say, he may have had an interesting line had he led with the Stoke, allowed Hoey a turn to play something, and then led with Stormbreath Dragon, just trying to get the extra reach off the card, because now we can assume that Stormbreath Dragon's going to die here, right, to the Hero's Downfall?
Yeah, but I like getting his damage while it's good. Stoke's always going to get in damage.
Sure.
Stormbreath Dragon is only going to get in damage when your opponent is tapped out.
Yep.
But there aren't really that many great answers to Stormbreath Dragon in this deck either. Only the 1 Murderous Cut and then the 3 Heroes Downfalls that Matt's playing.
I guess this is nice, too, because Matt, to cast a lot of these double black cards, is having to ping himself with this Caves.
Yeah. Right.
That's...
So now he's at 5, so if he casts... So he's going to Siege Rhino, and I think he has to pay a life to do that.
Does he?
No, he does not. He was able to cast...
he's good,
yeah.
but
Tommy Disdainful strokes it.
He's got Stoke mana up. Oh boy.
Yeah, use Stoke here.
Yeah, good play.
Put you one. Draw anything. Any Rabble Master.
Yeah, any relevant threat. Oh, yeah. He draws a land. Come on. Where was the Patriot Missile Mantis Rider off the top?
Yeah. Patriot Missile. Drawing a bunch of lands, but he still has Disdainful Stroke in hand. The Valorous stance in his hand is kind of awkward right now, though. I imagine this is going to get Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah, you have to just fire it off and keep your opponent on the back foot.
Yep. So here we go. Fade another draw step. Yeah, there's an Evolving Wilds. Ugh.
Jeez, Tommy.
But Matt Hoey has really no way to gain life here, so he's got a bunch of reactive cards in his hand. So any spell that Tommy draws, although he might have so he's going to utter in the Change of the Rocks.
Get his Courser back, correct?
Yeah, but the Courser is just going to get Valorous stanced. But he is going to gain a life.
Yeah.
And draw land. So, once again, Tommy is hoping that he can draw. Now, I like fetching.
Yep.
And then I don't particularly like using the Valorous stance right now. I use the Valorous stance if I don't draw a Stormbreath Dragon or something like that, because he does have Murderous Cut man open. So Tommy is going to take that line, and he's going to draw, and he's going to draw a Hordling Outburst, which is not that great, because Matt Hoey has Bile in his hand. So this game continues to go on.
I'm just looking. I just want a Lightning Strike to be off the top. As bad as I don't, I mean, I'm not really rooting one way or the other, but you're so close. Like, this is it. A Lightning Strike, a Rabble Master. I mean, even Rabble Master can't get it done anymore because the Courser's back.
Yep,
is this Valorous stance on
the
Courser?
Now. Yeah, it's officially dead now, not just Change of the Rocks.
Okay, so now it's gone.
Yeah. So, Tommy's still just looking for a burn spell. Matt Hoey's going to draw the land we knew was on top of his deck. And then I imagine Bob like these tokens away. Or end hostilities. But he has to take a damage to end hostilities.
I think I like the end. Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he has to also take a damage to Bile Blight, so he's going to take a damage to remove these tokens either way. Either way, you cut it.
He's still at 1. Oh, Tommy, you got to play something. How? Tommy's got Mystic Monastery Mountain up.
Yeah.
If that last card in his hand was Lightning Strike right now and he was just slow rolling, I'd be...
No, I don't think Tommy would do that.
No, I don't think he would
I think Tommy should have played the Flooded Strand in his hand.
And then
I think in this
Strand.
case there is a reason to thin your deck.
Yep. So. I mean,
Tommy's got quite a few outs here. He's got Rabble Masters, Master Riders, Stormbreath Dragons, Lightning Strikes, Stoke the Flames, Treasure Cruises. I mean, all these cards are great.
You have to imagine he didn't sideboard out a majority of his burn, right?
He sideboarded out some Lightning Strikes, and I think some Rabble Masters and Seeker of the Ways, so...
Yeah.
Looks like Matt Hoey does have that Murderous Cut in hand. So, even a creature, Tommy needs a burn spell. No, because Matt Hoey can't cast Murderous Cut because he has a So there's a Rabble Master. I think this Rabble Master is going to get the job done.
Is that it?
Yeah. Matt
Token
Hoey says,
attack?
yep,
Yes.
Can't do anything.
Finally. So. That was so close. What a good game.
Missile.
Patriot Missile fired the Rabble Master from offshore.
Yep. That was a pretty intense game.
It was.
That showed the negative there of having the 3-color deck, where Matt Hoey had to take a lot of damage from his pain lands, and Tommy not so much. Tommy's more of a red-white deck splashing blue, so he's going to take less damage. He's not playing any Battlefield Forges or anything like that. So
to be fair, I mean, in Matt Hoey's circumstance, we knew he was short on land at the beginning of the game. Put himself behind. That type of damage you're taking in these Abzan mid-range decks, in your head as a player, you're thinking, I'm going to make it up with Siege Rhino. I'm going to make it up with cards like Sorin. But playing against quick, aggressive decks, like the Jeskai Aggro, like the Patriot Missile deck, I mean, it's very hard to do that. Had that Mantis Rider stuck around, had there been no answer to that Mantis Rider, that game would have been over much quicker.
That Mantis Rider did a fair amount of damage.
Oh, it did?
It got in like 2 hits, so that's really all you can ask for it.
I mean, it's a strong card, and you have to be careful. You can't solely rely on the life gain from Siege Rhino to save you from your caves that you're popping yourself, or the Land War Waste, whatever pain land you're using.
Yeah, especially now when you've seen your opponent is bringing in Hutchwing Griff and has Disdainful Stroke, which Disdainful Stroke I'd expect, Hushwing Griff less so. Although I know a lot of the red-white decks that I think Tommy is sort of you know, adapted from.
Yeah.
Play Hushwing Griff in sideboard.
It's interesting. Tommy, and I talked about this on Thursday's stream, Tommy has been jumping around recently between decks. He started off with kind of trying to play like mid-range decks, then he jumped to the blue-white heroic, and now today he's playing the Jeskai Aggro. So I wonder what kind of clued him in onto what to play today.
I think that Tommy's playing this deck because he came up with a sweet name for a deck and was like...
And wanted to run with it?
Patriot Missile.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
I need to have a deck that I can call Patriot Missile. So Matt Hoey going to mold a 6. I think Tommy's going to keep. I know he has I think he's keeping a 2-lander, but I believe he has a Mystic Monastery and a Mountain. So he will have all of his colors, but still needs another land to cast some of the 3-mana spells in his hand.
I doubt Hoey's going to take He's probably going to take a more serious line here. I don't think he'll start with that 2-land opener that we saw last time. So we gave
that was a good 2-land hand, though.
I agree. It was a good quote unquote 2-hand land. I think it definitely put him off on the back foot, especially when Tommy was drawing permission. And Hoey had reactive spells while Tommy was still playing nothing.
Yeah, but I think so Matt Hoey's going to start off here with a Sandstep Citadel and ship it back. Tommy, Mystic Monastery. So everybody has their colors. There's a Temple of Malady from Matt Hoey. Going to keep that one on top. Tommy going to draws another mountain. Going to play a mountain here and pass the turn. Leave up Raise the Alarm, which he does have in his hand.
Ooh, I like that.
Matt Hoey going to play a 3rd land, so he's not going to cast the Raise the Alarm. I guess maybe he's not playing Raise the Alarm.
Is that Chain?
Yeah, it was Chain that rocks.
So here we'll see the Hordling Outburst.
There's a Hordling Outburst, which make 3 tokens. Matt Hoey does not have the Bile Blade for it, but he does have Dr. Siege Rhino.
Dr. Siege Rhino. Mr. Siege MD.
Tommy draws another mountain. So unfortunately for Tommy here, he's not going to be able to chain this to the rocks and leave up Disdainful Stroke. So I think what the play is to just chain it to the rocks. I don't like Glare of Heresy here. I think that's what Tommy's going to do. Okay, Valorous Stance is a play I like a little bit more. I think. Well, I actually kind of like just chaining it to the rocks. All the spells you're going to kill with Valorous Stance you're going to, kill anyways, but there is some value in, like, protecting your Mana Strider, your Rabble Master.
Sure.
Of note, you can't protect Stormbreath Dragon. So.
Yes. It's also very hard, though, to another Dr. Siegingtons.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Tommy, he was unable to keep up a Disdainful Stroke because he had to tap his one white source was a blue-white source.
I like the Chandra draw.
I do like Chandra. I think that's going to play a big role for Tommy here. And I imagine he's just going to change the rocks and get in for 3.
We'll chain your guy.
Yep.
Start whittling down the life. What is he trying to get into now?
So Matt Hoey's going to play a Courser of Crufix here. Flip a Reveal and Elspeth, which is a good card, and nice. Going to gain a life off the Temple of Silence. Keep the Elspeth on top, and Glare of Heresy, the Chain to the Rocks.
Double Siege Rhino's really putting him ahead this game, as far as...
Going to go up to 27 off the Siege Rhino. No, he's going to stay at 24. Life total discrepancy. Tommy going to go to 11. Draw. It's out.
Another mountain.
Tommy has another mountain, which is kind of problematic. If he had drawn a Plains or an island there, he would be able to Glare of Heresy the Siege Rhino while keeping up Disdainful Stroke. As it is now, I don't really know what Tommy's line is.
Boy, we could see it. That'd be great if we had Jaws of Stone. Unfortunately, that is not a card in Standard. We do have the option, though, to play the Storm Breath, correct?
Yeah, but that's just going to get killed by the Elspeth.
Sure.
So, Tommy's not in a very good position here either way, although it is nice that he can stoke the flames this Courser of Crufix.
I like that.
I think there's also value in maybe blocking the Siege Rhino and then stoke the Flamesing it after damage.
Well, I don't know. Actually, playing the Storm Breath out might not have been a bad line, because if Hoey uses his Elspeth, it also clips the Siege Rhino, while leaving you with tokens to then just kill the Elspeth.
That's fair, but it also allows you to just plus. So
make a bunch of tokens.
Tommy gonna go to 7 here. Really needs an answer for this Siege Rhino. He's really hoping to just draw a blue source or a white source, so he can cast a Glare of Heresy while leaving up Disdainful Stroke. He draws another mountain.
Holy cow!
He's playing 7 mountains, man. Only 2 plains and 1 island. So
Tommy, where's your Seismic Assault? You could cast that right now and start just whipping mountains.
So I think Tom needs to Glare of Heresy this Siege Rhino and then play a Chandra. I think that's probably the line.
I mean, it protects you against...
Yeah, and then Matt Hoey can play the Elspeth.
Yeah.
He can plus, and then you can just play your Stormbreath Dragon and then kill it with the Chandra ping.
No, I think... Oh, jeez. Is he going to 0 here, though, is the question.
No, I think you just have to plus.
I mean, I agree. I agree with the plus. Oh.
So Tommy is going to... So he's going to plus ping Mad Hoey down, and then he's going to attack him for 3. But Mad Hoey still has the Siege Rhino in hand, Siege Rhino on the board.
Correct.
Tommy really doesn't want this Elspeth to resolve. He's just going to die to the Siege Rhino. Now he's at 3, so Mad Hoey has another Siege Rhino, and Mad Hoey's unwilling to play the Elspeth into.
And rightly so. I mean,
for sure.
I think that's okay. Tommy, can you...
So now here I think he's 0.
Yep, see what you can draw.
That's not good.
Worthling Outburst. What does that do for us? We have no Rabble Master to turn on.
Yeah. I imagine if we drew it, we're just going to cast it. Just cast it, and then he's got to get rid of the Siege Rhino. I mean, he can cast it and hold back some guys, so he can just block it.
I still like putting the Stormbreath Dragon out, because then if Hoey does play the Elspeth, you're making him sacrifice the creature that's been killing you for the past 3 turns.
Yeah.
And if he wants to battle with tokens, let him battle with tokens. I mean, you've got goblins for days.
So Tommy is going to make some goblins, and he's just going to...
Oh, can we block 1 goblin here? Stoke? No, because we're still dead.
Tramples.
Yep.
Yeah, so this plan dies to a Bile Blight or a Drowning Sorrow.
Dies to a lot.
No, it doesn't die to Drowning Sorrow. We go to 1. So Mad Hoey drew a land, though, and I think has Murderous Cut Elspeth in hand. He's going to go to 19. So I think he's going to cast Elspeth.
I'm a fan of that play, actually. That's not bad either. Ping the Siege Rhino with Chandra, stoke it.
Yeah, I like that play.
That's a solid play.
I think that's actually a very good line. Allows us to continue to leave up
mana
Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah.
So
and it saves you a glare.
Mad Hoey is going to fetch so that he can get some value off the Scryland he drew. And bad news for Tommy is he's keeping this on top. I think you just have to... I mean, we know our opponent has Disdainful Stroke, so I'm just going to jam. Yeah, he's just going to jam this Elspeth, and I think he has a... I'm pretty sure he has another Rhino on top of his deck. And that's why he's just doing that.
Tommy, what can you draw?
The Evolving
Wilds. Too little, too late. But we can... I'm still behind this plan of... Well, I guess we're still dead then to...
Yeah, we're dead to the top. I'm pretty sure Mad Hoey kept a Rhino on top of his deck and we're just dead to it.
Boy, that'd be a great top.
So Tommy, I think, then needs to 0 the Chandra here. If that's... Well, he can't, because if he 0s and he's hoping to hit Treasure Cruise, he just doesn't have any blue mana. So I think the play is to ping the Rhino and then Stoke the Flames it and attack him for 6. That puts him on a 2-turn clock, but like I said, I'm pretty confident he has a Rhino on top of his deck. A Rhino or like another Elspeth. Just another
powerhouse card.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll see what Tommy decides to do here. Looks like he is going to choose to Glare of Heresy the Rhino.
I mean, I feel like we've had that glare forever, though.
Yeah.
So why did we let the Rhino take us down from from 14 to 3 where we are now.
That was, I think, just because we saw the Elspeth and we're afraid of the Elspeth. So now Tommy is going to play the Stormbreath Dragon and attack for 10. Matt Hoey's going to Murderous Cut the Stormbreath Dragon. And
Did he? Okay, so there is an Urborg in play, because I just noticed he tapped the Evolving Wilds, and I...
Yeah.
Urborg is a very confusing card when dealing with casting.
So I imagine Matt Hoey's just going to flip over a Stormbreath Dragon here.
Siege Rhino?
Or a Siege
Dr.
Rhino,
Siegingtons?
Dr. Siege Rhino. No, Bile Blight.
Or it's a Bile Blight.
Also a good card, but, I mean, like, Matt Hoey's not in a good position right now. Tommy has a Chandra on board. He still has cards in his hand. Draws a Mana Confluence, which is pretty dead.
He's got a Stoke.
He needs to 0 Chandra. Man. This game.
I shouldn't be laughing, but that is just brutal luck.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is. Well, we're both top.
He still has an Evolving Wilds, though.
He does. Matt Hoey doesn't draw anything.
Thank you.
Crack the Evolving Wilds.
Oh, jeez. Are there more mountains on top?
There are more mountains in the deck. Tommy is going to get a Plains, though. A good choice, I think. A non-mountain...
crack Evolving Wilds, get mountain.
Yeah. So we'll see what Tommy draws here. Disdainful Stroke is actually not bad.
It's super good.
It's actually super good.
Zero him. There you go.
All right, a threat.
Come
on. I don't know
on.
if I like zeroing there. I kind of just want to plus and then ultimate Chandra and be like, well,
if you hit a Stoke, you do a ton of damage.
You just kill him.
I mean, the damage is real.
So yeah, like there's a Drown in Sorrow that we turn on, and now Matt Hoey gets the
Scry effect.
The ability to scry. Yeah.
Both these players in the bubble right now out there.
So Matt Hoey ships to the bottom and passes back to Tommy. So Tommy draws a Stormbreath Dragon. That's a good one.
That's what you want.
It's going to 0 Chandra again. Reveal a blue source. Might as well.
Yeah.
Fire that one off there. And then, gotta think he's going to just slam a Stormbreath Dragon and put him on a 3-turn clock here.
Oh, he's got to see this coming. Does he have removal for it is the question.
No, I think he's probably just got a land in his hand. Matt Hoey's going to go to 8, and we're back to top decking.
Oh, man.
No, he's got a spell in his hand. It looks like a black spell. I think it might be another Drown in Sorrow. So is Tommy going to fire off the Stoke the Flames?
I think you do. No, I think in that situation...
Oh, another Stormbreath. That should seal it up for Tommy.
There they go. The double dragon.
Oh, he's going to get a Bile Blighted. So man, are we going to buy himself another turn? Yeah, you just... whatever.
Fire the Stoke off. What is he... There's no Stoke there.
No, you can't Stoke. It's not going to kill him. He's going to take 2 here, and then he's going to plus the Chandra.
Puts him at 1.
Yeah, he's just at 1 though. But yeah. I mean, Matt Hoey has no outs here.
Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino.
Just show him. Just put the Disdainful Stroke.
Oh!
So, yeah. Matt Hoey floods out, and Tommy Tomsovic and Patriot Missile, baby.
Patriot Missile takes it over Abzan midrange, piloted by Matt Hoey. Tommy Tomsovic.
That was impressive.
He held on, man.
He held on, yeah, after, drawing a million mountains instead of a land that was able to allow him to cast a Glare Heresy and a Disdainful Stroke.
I'll tell you, I probably would not have been as calm as Tommy drawing all those mountains.
I would have been a little perturbed myself,
I would have been, yes, I would have been a tad bit upset at just this sheer amount of mountains drawn.
Hey man, you put 7 in your deck, you gotta expect to draw a fair amount of them. When you only have 2 islands or 2 plains and an island, so.
That's true. Speaking of mountains, though, I mean, we do have the red cards that we can discuss.
Sure.
You want to do the red cards, or you want to hold off?
Let's keep people in suspense. We only got 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes left, so we can't do our red standard playmakers right now.
Let me tell you, they're sweet though.
They are sweet. There are some sweet standard playmakers, guys. We've got 5 minutes left in round 4 of 9 of the SCG Regional Championships. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back with next round's pairings.